Welcome back to the Pats Podcast. I'm your host, Philip Hensler, and together, we're going to explore different facets of athletic training, our colleagues, and their stories. So stick around. Let's be better athletic trainers. Welcome back to the Pats Podcast. We are at the Pats Convention, and I'm here with Linda and Julie, and we want to talk about building relationships and how athletic training benefits from these relationships. So let's start. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know Linda from Duquesne. She was one of my professors. Taught me absolutely everything I know.
I know. Paula and Barry and yeah, there's
and then there's Paul and Keith and Peg. Absolutely Peg.
That's right. So
and let's start with Julie. Julie, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, I worked at Dickinson College for 22 years.
So do you know my co-host, Adam Richmond?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Of course you do.
Yeah, he followed me
Okay.
at Dickinson. And then I went to WellSpan Sports Medicine, which is where I'm at now, WellSpan Health.
Yeah.
And what's your role there?
Supervisor of sports medicine
Oh, fantastic.
and athletic trainers.
Awesome.
So.
And Linda, you had a fun year, exciting milestone.
I did. As a retiree, speaking firsthand. But we were talking earlier. You know, Julie and I are classmates from Lock Haven back in 1983, and when you sit down,
don't
don't even.
Please
don't even.
But delete that one.
Yes. But when you start out and you go to college, you have no idea who your friends are going to be, you know, and you don't know, you can't say, I want to have that one as a friend, and I want to have, it just, you click. And so when you're in the same curriculum, and, you know, you start to learn different personalities, different things, she and I just clicked. And we were, you know, from freshman year, literally freshman year, all 4 years of undergrad, and to this day, you know, we are still best friends, 40
plus years later.
40 plus years
Awesome.
later.
Yeah.
And as I said, it just is, you know, athletic training brings you together, and it allows you to bounce ideas off of each other. You know, when I was doing clinical things and I'd have a case and like, Julie, what do you think this is, or what would you do? And you know, it just kind of solidifies the relationship, that it allows you to be a better person, because you are gaining more information every time you share stories, every time you talk to each other, and yeah.
But those years at Lock Haven, too, I mean, working hard together, classmates, you know, well, working hard, playing hard.
Playing harder.
Playing harder, yes. But I think that's the key with athletic training, you know, is you work side by side, and you're not only in the classroom, but on the field together.
Yeah.
And I think that helps grow relationships.
You share in the struggles, you share in the victories.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You share the bad days in the rain that the teams lose
And
in.
studying for the BOC exam together,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all those things.
And I guess that's, you know, when we share the stories and younger athletic trainers hear us and they just look at us, and I don't know if they're scared, or they should be maybe, but the point is, you know, to create your journey, we all create our journey, and it just unfolds, and it's the people who come into your life and the things that you do that allows that journey to continue. And so whenever you just kind of hop on the bus and say, I'm on for the ride, and let's go, and just, you know, see where it takes you.
Here we go.
And that's what athletic training did for both of us. Yeah,
From day one.
yeah, literally from day one.
That's awesome.
So
The adventures, I can only imagine the two of you have been through. The
We
traveling.
No, we won't go there.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stories. A lot of good ones, though. A lot of good stories.
Positive, all positive
Yeah,
stories.
all positive
stories.
I think, too, being through the thick and thin together through life, you know, ups and downs,
Yep.
just being there for each other beyond the Lock Haven days.
Being that support when you need it.
Oh, absolutely.
That you're you had kids, I know that.
No,
you had the kids. Okay.
Yeah, she has
I have
a
a
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I was gonna say when your kid's up all night crying and you still have 6 a.m. practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to vent to somebody about it just
Yep.
to get you through the day. Yeah.
Auntie Linda.
That's absolutely. And
Yep.
I was there then. I was there I am there now, and I
Yeah.
will always be there in the
Yeah.
future. So,
But yeah, for my daughter, she's
I'm-
Auntie Linda.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
greatest
Seriously.
title next
Yeah.
to wife and daughter.
So, what would you say was the defining moment in your careers?
Defining.
I think for us going into the Hall of Fame together.
Yeah,
That was special.
Yeah, 2013.
And not so much for me, but us together. I think that was kind of neat. There was three
doing
Lock
the journey
Haven.
together.
Yeah, 3 Lock Haven people got inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same time.
And that
That's
was
awesome.
Barry McGlumphy and Julie and myself.
Yeah.
And
That for me was
yeah, and so the three of us at Lock Haven.
Yeah.
I think you don't get into the Hall of Fame. That's not, at least in my world, and I can speak for you, and I can certainly speak for Barry. I think you don't do things to get into the Hall of Fame. You don't do things to get recognized. You do things because it's the right thing to do, And so, when you're recognized for doing the right things, that's the Hall of Fame, which I'm humbled beyond words. But to be humbled with Barry and I taught together, as you know,
Yeah.
both at Cal U, or at Duquesne and at Cal U, and Julie and I have been best friends,
Forever.
since
Yeah.
forever. So for the three of us to go in at the same time and be recognized at the same time for the service that we have done, it was definitely
That was a highlight for me.
Definitely a highlight.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
How has athletic training changed over your careers? Because you started in the 80s, and
Yeah.
Did you have to say?
it's been a couple years.
Did we have to? You said that word again, right?
I know, the 80s.
80s.
That's like,
How have you seen it change?
Yeah.
What excited you about some of the changes that happened, and what do you see kind of moving forward for athletic training that excites you?
I mean, I think for where I work right now is seeing the different settings. Because I have athletic trainers in the high school setting. I have some working professional sports. I have some working in the industrial setting.
Okay.
And then I have others in the clinical setting and some in the rehab setting. So I think for me to see how they're being utilized and how valuable they are.
yeah.
One of our orthopedics calls us the quarterbacks of the team.
Okay.
And he says
Huge compliment.
that's how how valuable we are, and that's what I see is we are the quarterbacks, and in so many different areas, not just one setting.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I think obviously you spent your entire career in the clinical trenches,
Yeah.
hands-on doing your thing. I just had a short stint of 10 years at the high school where I did the hands-on thing, and then I got into the education and things. So I didn't have the longevity of the hands-on clinical skills. So my take on how the profession has changed is from the educational point of view. And we laugh at if we were students today, we wouldn't pass the exam. They just know so much more.
I've always wondered that.
Oh my gosh.
Would I be, if I were to take the exam tomorrow?
Yeah.
How would I do? Would I get passing, or would I
Yeah,
would I have to
you
wait
would.
6 months and do it again?
But
You
it's
would, we
it,
would,
again
yeah.
we were taught an incredible foundation. So what we had to build on, and I think on some sides we benefited greatly because we had to problem solve. We had to figure out, just the example of you saying, with your athlete that you had to somehow figure out to keep her foot in dorsiflexion. You had to problem solve. It wasn't in a book that you could go over. You couldn't Google, how do I do this? So you had to figure it out. So it created this sense of problem solving throughout our entire careers. And again, everybody still problem solves today. I'm not diminishing that point, but it wasn't at our fingertips. And now information is right here. You just have to say, hey Siri, and you get the answer, or hey Google or whatever.
It wasn't that easy for us.
No, it wasn't. So the transformation of having a strong foundation of education and building on that and seeing today's foundation is just so monumental.
Huge,
it's just
right.
and again, the information that the students know today is just incredible. Incredible.
That's
So
awesome. You guys have had a long, storied career together as friends, as colleagues. I have one last question that I like to ask almost everyone. what does athletic training mean to you?
Oh my gosh.
It can be deep.
So athletic training means to me is, first of all, and again, I think it's a testament to she and I, friendship, relationship building, and if you have the opportunity to build relationship with your coaches, with your parents, with your athletes, with your administrators, and you have that, that positive outlook, that as an athletic trainer, you are creating an avenue for your athletes. You're creating a world where they want to be healthy. You're creating a world where their parents want their sons or daughters to be successful. And what is success? That's, defined on many different levels. And to be a part of that, to be a part of, I know that I made a difference in this person's life, which is relationship building, is just incredible. And then to take it to the next level, I'm just going to say the opportunity to branch out of the traditional settings and give back to populations like Special Olympics. Because again, that's the other thing that has, brought Julie and I back around, is our involvement with Special Olympics and being able to serve a population that is so deserving on many different levels. So I think, again, just athletic training, you have your foundation of knowledge, the relationship building that you create at all different levels, and then the opportunities to branch out and to touch different lives beyond your even imagination.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And I think, too, with athletic training, I mean, the ability that we have to work with others, to work so closely with others, and to help them achieve their goals, whether it's a Special Olympian, whether it's a high school athlete, whether it's a professional athlete, college athlete, just being there and being that person, seeing them from the injury all the way through. And there's nothing better than when they get that gold medal, like you said, and holding that up and knowing that you were part of that process.
Yeah.
No, you can't put a price tag on that.
No,
You absolutely
not at all.
cannot.
Not at all.
But the relationships that you build in meetings like this.
I'm so glad we're back
Oh
to in
my
person.
gosh. Absolutely.
And to see everybody again and give everybody a hug.
And to be able to hug.
Yeah, be able to see each other. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And to be together, to experience things together again is
Yeah.
just so much fun.
And I don't know of many other professions that have the networking, the
Family.
family atmosphere, and not just from a clinical level, but from a personal level. It's
Because we're talking about each other's families.
Yeah.
We're asking, how's your wife? How's your husband? How's your kids? We care about each other.
Absolutely.
We truly care about
You can
each
work
other.
in separate parts of the country, see each other once a year for that random event, and it's like you're on the road with your family again.
Yeah.
And it is truly an experience.
And if you have something happening in your life going on, everybody from the family here reaches out and comes back and says, do you need help? Do you need anything? Sorry to hear what happened, or can I help you? We're a big family, which is neat. 40-some years later.
Sure is. Yeah.
Well, it's been wonderful catching up with you guys.
You
It was
too,
wonderful
Phil.
to meet you, Jolie.
Nice to meet you as well.
And thank you for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
Enjoy the rest of the. We've got the banquet next.
Yep. We do.
You guys sticking around for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. I'll see you guys around.
Okay.
All right. Sounds
Great.
good, Phil.
Have a
Thank
good
you
one.
very much.
Yes.
Well, this brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of the Pats Podcast. If you liked what we did here, please remember to like and consider subscribing to the episodes. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or you want to hear any topics, or if you want to become involved in helping with the podcast. Until next time, I'm Philip Hensler, and this was the Pats Podcast.